Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home.
We have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
This is episode 139, How to Mix Contemporary and Traditional Elements. I think this is something people maybe feel uncomfortable doing, so I thought it would be a great topic for today. And I know you do a lot of this, Yvonne. You want to kick us off and give us one of the tips that you use?
Yes, I think that a lot of our audience may really fall into this. And for me, mixing the traditional furniture that I've had from years past with a contemporary look I just think it's so beautiful. I think that it's exciting and it breathes new life into a room because I like that eclectic approach for decorating.
Yvonne, you're so onto something. If you have a traditional room and you want to give it a fresh look, throw in something contemporary and that's going to really perk it up and give it a whole different look.
It will. And listen, I'm going to give you an example first and then I'll talk about some other things. Let's say that you have a dining room set that's either cherry, mahogany, oak, and it's very traditional, a little outdated. The best thing to do, keep your table and put some beautiful, modern, fresh chairs in, something upholstered. What an updated look instead of if you have a brass chandelier or a chandelier. Now I know you two are just going to gasp. A crystal chandelier, get rid of that. Bring in something a little more modern, something that's a drum that has a drum shade.
I wouldn't take out. Okay, no, just on the crystal. No, just on the crystal. I'd probably leave it, but maybe updated. Depends on how dated it looks. If it looks really dated, I probably trash it. But
absolutely,
the crystal is an element I might. I think it adds so much.
It depends on how far you want to go. It depends on the table.
It depends on the chandelier, I think.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if you have a very dated chandelier, keep the table, update the chairs, keep the Oriental rug. That's beautiful, and actually put a big sisal in your room and layer your Oriental rug on top of it.
Great idea.
Keep your table, buy new chairs, and chandeliers are very inexpensive. I got mine on, what did I get? Overstocks. And it was less than $250.
Nice.
And they keep selling out of that. It's the Tribeca. That's what it's called. And you can have a whole new look and you can still enjoy your beautiful table that you spent way too much money for 30 years ago.
That's true. And my tip, if you really hate the way the table looks, but you can't make yourself replace it, keep a tablecloth on it.
Or paint it. That may be harder. That may be very hard though. So I just want to tell you that look, you want to have that juxtaposition and it is so attractive and interesting.
Oh yeah, it's really fresh. And sometimes people use the words contemporary and modern interchangeably. So I just wanted to clarify that for now. Contemporary is really now pieces, like things that are being made currently, like from Ballard Design or West Elm or Crate and Barrel or Pottery Barn or even higher end places, but things that are being created right now. Modern. So, I mean, sure, if you're talking to your BFF about doing your living room and you use the word modern, it's not going to make a difference. But if you're talking to a decorator or you're going for advice at a showroom or something and you say, I want to add modern elements, modern is actually a period of decor, which is sort of the late 40s, 50s, and sliding a little bit into the 60s. It encompasses the Bauhaus.
And it has a whole different vibe.
Right.
It's very minimalist.
Modern, Danish modern, that whole look. So we're really sticking with the words contemporary and traditional today. And when we say in contemporary, we're talking about things that are being made in the current time.
When I talk about it like to friends, sometimes I do use modern and contemporary interchangeably. Modern meaning things you can get today, not necessarily the style. So that's what we're talking about today. Things that you can buy oh, here's an example, like at Pottery Barn or Restoration Hardware, something like that.
Right.
Or Target.
One of the things that you can do to give a room a contemporary feel, but it's actually full of traditional things, is to go with a monochromatic color theme. And I think that does really pep it up and gives it more of a now feel.
And here's another thing. Don't have the same woods, the same type of wood all in one room. Mix up the woods.
Mm-hmm. As long as it's not mahogany and pine, I agree with what you're saying.
Well,
because some woods don't go well together, but a lot of them do.
Well, see, I beg to differ nicely.
Oh, you would mix those two?
I would mix a cherry table with a beautiful pine hutch.
Okay. See, I wouldn't do that.
Armoire. Yes, depending on depending on the style, I might change out some hardware.
I don't like those red woods with the pine wood. Mm-hmm. I think they're too disparate in the looks. So that's my take. And
nice
and here, this is
$5 word there.
And here is the thing that is a great point to make. We're not in agreement here, but that's fine.
Absolutely.
It's just a different, everybody's got their own individual style.
Because what you're thinking about in decor is definitely leaning more towards the French and antiques. And I'm definitely thinking way more contemporary because that's my style. Well, and that for me would be a fine mix. Although here's another tip. Take off your hardware, add new hardware, updated hardware to things. Mm-hmm. Even on a cherry piece, that juxtaposition is amazing.
Okay. I think the easiest way to add this mix that we're loving, the contemporary and traditional, the easiest add is a coffee table. Doing a contemporary coffee table because
great idea.
You might have a traditional sofa. And I have something to say about that as well. Just so hang on for a second. Let me finish this thought. So the coffee table can be super inexpensive to add. You can do glass. You could do lucite. There's
ding, ding, ding. My favorite word.
There you go.
I think she's a lucite girl. A lucite would be amazing.
Right. So the lines of your sofa can be very traditional. It could even be French. It could be like my sofa. It has this Victorian thing going on with the charcoal upholstery. So it has an edge to it. And I have a very modern coffee table in front of it. It's very simple. Basically a gold horizontal plane with gold metal. Very, very, very simple.
Yeah. So,
but that is a really easy, inexpensive way to do it. I mean, I think my coffee table was less than $200.
That's a great idea.
Let me just jump back for a second because we were talking sofas the other day. So this is not really off topic, but we did get an email that I don't know if everybody saw, but it was about the fact that Yvonne said sofas could only last should only last around 7 years.
I remember her saying that.
That's the average.
Okay, because we have a listener, and I'm looking for the email right now. And I thought she made a very good point that some sofas can last 20, 30 years. So do we agree with that? Do we not agree with that?
Well, we agree because my mother has a 25-year-old sofa. The problem is do you want to sit on something that's been sat on for 25 years? And it's probably very outdated. The industry average for a sofa is 7 years.
Okay, so you got that from a source. So So I'm saying, when you said that, I was like, that seems short to me because I know people sleep their sofas a long time.
So is this did the
Janine.
Source that the source that came up with it should only last 7 years. Does this source sell sofas?
It's sofas.com.
Just saying.
No, I think what they're saying is because of its heavy use and because of the styling, think about 7 years. And to be honest with you, I like, and I agree with that because by the time 7 years rolls around, I'm about ready for a new sofa.
Okay, but how about if you had this sofa, a hickory sofa? Excellent company made. Her aunt is in Hickory, North Carolina.
Is it Anne?
and ordered a baker. Very
What's her
excellent
name?
company. Her name is Janine.
Janine.
Can I finish what I'm saying, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
ordered
done.
a Baker sofa in navy silk, velvet in the early 80s. And that sofa has been in her living room all this time, and it's still gorgeous. And Janine expects to inherit that sofa someday. Now, would you turn your nose up at that sofa,
No,
ladies?
absolutely not. But that's really an exception to the rule.
Okay.
You know, I had a sofa. I had two beautiful Ethan Allen, so well made 18th century sofas that were a beautiful
Well, if they're
yellow.
from the 18th century, they're very old.
But
they're not. They're well beyond style.
But I was so done with them, and I had paid so much. Like I had them for I had them for 23 years. I was so tired of them. Like by year 12, 15, so tired, but I had spent so much money. Now they lasted. They were wonderful. They were horrifically outdated.
Yeah.
You know, so you have, it's not just though the frame and how well it holds up. Have it recovered in something modern. Well, it's just like the use and the soil and the dust and also the styling.
So maybe if it's still in style, it's still the fabric's in great shape.
Sounds gorgeous.
So just get it cleaned.
Amazing.
Just get it cleaned, I would say.
Yeah, I'm not talking about her sofa. That is
Janine,
really an exception.
Don't listen to Yvonne. You just keep your sofa, honey.
Hey,
you listen to Yvonne, but just not on this one.
That's right.
And then
She's
get a
definitely
contemporary
an
coffee
exception.
table. So listen to me too.
And if my mom is listening, buy a new sofa, Mom. It's been time. Love you, honey, but buy a new sofa. And I
have to say, I love you, Yvonne. I'm kind of tending with Janine on here.
Mm-hmm. Well, in her case,
Yvonne's agreeing with her on this particular case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
So
standards.
Yvonne is now handling. Yvonne is handling this on a case-by-case basis at this
point. Bring us your sofas. You're tired.
Yes. Okay,
we'll
let's get off sofas and let's talk.
Get off the sofa, Kelly.
Get off the sofa. If I had a blue velvet, I mean, you know my love of velvet.
Right. I'm thinking it sounds gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, another really good way to update your house is, paint your walls white.
Nice one.
Yeah, because white is not boring. White is just a beautiful background. And I think some people, they paint their rooms sky blue and then have all these traditional furnishings that make it even look more traditional because use a fresh color. If you paint it white or an off-white or an ivory or something like that, it really will update everything in your room.
I think you have a good point. If your room is feeling tired, I think it's a great idea to add something contemporary to the room. And what I want to do is go the opposite. Say, what if you have a fully contemporary room and you want to add some kind of cozy traditional touches to your room? My number one tip is to add a French chair, because that's going to warm it up, add some elegance. And French chairs, I say it all the time, they go with every style.
I've added some French chairs. I have a lot more Frenchy going on than one might suppose when I really look
I've
around.
noticed that, darling.
I am attracted to those lines, and it really does sort of go along with some of the ornate moldings and whatnot that I have going on in my house. So, I haven't spent a whole lot of money on any of these chairs. I'm talking like, $10, $12.
Oh, wow.
Just because they are not, true pedigreed chairs.
Well, you have a nose for the Bergère chair.
Yes,
those were expensive, but I'm talking about like the little accent chairs. So they've been, you can really get them inexpensively. And I think that looks fantastic with, some modern lines, contemporary lines. There, I did it myself.
There you go.
Contemporary lines
yes.
and simple lines. I think that really is a great way to go.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef.
Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. When you're going and your intention is to have a mix of contemporary and traditional, my feeling is the room has to be predominantly one or the other, and the other is the accent. You don't want to go a 50-50 split, because then it looks like you're kind of maybe like a bad furniture store, you know, and it's just, or you don't know, or you inherited some and you bought some. It doesn't seem purposeful. So you need to say first, you know, what is the box I'm working with? What is the structure? What does the house look like? Like my house has a lot of ornate things going on, which I painted white to sort of tone it down, but still there's a lot of molding. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of woodwork.
You've got that Victorian farmhouse, so I bet it does have lots and lots of details.
Right. So that I had that as, you know, really is an element. Then if you're in a clean line, like 60s ranch house, you have a whole different infrastructure that you're dealing with. So then you have to analyze that, what's going on there, and then decide which way do you want to go. Oh, okay. Well, it might be as simple as I have a lot more traditional furniture because I purchased it or I inherited it or somehow it just, you know, ended up in my life over the years, but I want to add in some more contemporary pieces. So then those are going to be your accents, your coffee table, your accent chair, your side tables, your lamps, things like that. But if you are starting over and you don't have a lot of things already and you can buy, or you want to buy all new things, then you can have contemporary being your predominant look, and then accent it with maybe some sort of oriental rug as an accent, or a French chair or something like that.
Okay.
That's how I would handle the mix.
That is, and that's absolutely
I think that's good.
Here's something that you can ding, 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 ding. Get
all right. I got the hint.
Wow. You know, Yvonne, now that she got the bell.
She's slow on the draw.
I mean, we were excited about the fact that she purchased a bell, but now she's in complete and utter control.
I know.
Oh, no, you both can. It's a bell This is a bell when I was sick one time. No one was waiting on me.
Oh, stop it.
I am not. I bought the bell because I needed some water. I needed water. I needed food. No one was bringing anything.
Oh,
wow. So you think if I get that bell, people will bring me things?
No, it's not magic.
Put that link in the show notes.
If you ding it, they will come.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, if you don't stop dinging, they will come eventually.
Here is another. Yes, actually, here's another thing. If you have heavy traditional drapes, take them off. Set your windows free.
Ooh,
yes.
Good and if you love the pattern on it, though, save. You can make pillows out of them.
Of course, you scared.
Or a duvet cover or something.
Pillows. I can hear a ding.
What'd you say? Did you call her Scarlett?
I did.
Or a dress, or a party dress,
or
one
both.
or the other. But anyway, put on some great blinds. Put on some nice, from the floor to the ceiling, puddled drapery that look really fresh. And especially if you match that, I love to think about matching my curtains that I have with some kind of a sisal rug going on underneath.
Oh,
that'll really bring a really nice contemporary look.
Mm-hmm. And, along with what we've been talking about, Oriental rugs and natural rugs go so well with both styles. Mm-hmm. I think very ornate mirrors work very well with both styles.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got more contemporary look, you can always paint them white. If you've got more traditional, leave them gold. But it's a beautiful look.
And here's what I'm going to say. You can go the other way as well. If your house is very traditional and you just need, let's say you have a beautiful buffet or something small that you love and you don't want to get rid of. Let's say it's a beautiful oak. Don't put that big ornate gold mirror up. I would put a very simple black framed big mirror. Wouldn't put it on the wall. I'd lean it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very nice good look. So what we're saying is either, or if you have that gorgeous ornate mirror, you're going to put something more simplistic, a little more contemporary underneath of it.
I think another thing I wanted to throw in when we're talking about mixing contemporary and traditional styles is probably the thing I would change out. If you don't want to add too much contemporary, I would definitely look at the contemporary light fixtures like Yvonne mentioned, because I hesitated to, I'm just thinking back to what I was saying about keeping the crystal chandelier, but honestly, it really depends on the look of the crystal chandelier, because if it looks really dated, you probably should move it on out of the house.
Anita, I don't see how actually a true crystal chandelier can look dated. I get that, everybody sees the, and mark our words, everyone, those brass chandeliers, I'm sure they will come back. They may not, stay.
I've held on to mine, believe it or
they
not.
might not stay a long time, but they might come back strong and hard for a short period of time again. But you see them, at my local thrift store, there's just a whole pile of them. So sure, if that's what you're talking about, maybe it has a few little things, crystals dangling off it. But if you've got a real crystal chandelier, if you're going to get rid of it and listen to Yvonne, please call me or email me. I will
listen, girls.
I will make every effort to come get it.
I feel like the cheese stands alone because your styles lend themselves to that. But if I kept a crystal chandelier, it would make my house look dated. It depends.
It depends on the style of, because some of them look terrible.
I'm going to put a crystal chandelier over my bed.
Mm-hmm. See, there you
go. Because I want that more luxurious, beautiful look. Right. But in my dining room, I'm just thinking about my dining room. If I had a crystal chandelier in there, it would be beautiful, but I think they have a lot of visual weight. And it is, if I wanted to make it more contemporary, which I did a beautiful, nickel chandelier with a big drum shade, like iridescent drum shade over it.
The other thing that you're doing is doing some things that are unexpected. If there's a certain light fixture that you always see over a sink or always see over a dining room table, don't go with that. because it's going to look like everyone else's. So try something a little bit different.
And here's an easy switch out. If you have pictures, like family pictures that are I have in my bedroom, they're all in these ornate gold frames, like all over. This is where my family pictures are, because in my areas that I photograph, my children would prefer that I not do that. So, they're all in my bedroom, but they're all in these gold ornate frames. I'm switching them all out to white frames.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is something that will really update a traditional look.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing. If you have a small accent chair or a chair that's a wooden chair that has a fabric seat or a fabric back or a fabric seat and back, have it slip covered or reupholstered in something very contemporary.
Yeah, that's another thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing you can do to add a contemporary feel to the room, and it's kind of a faux contemporary feel, is to go a little more minimalist. Move out a lot of the accessories so you have a lot of clean spaces, a lot of clean tabletops where you have very little sitting out on nightstands, tables, coffee tables, and that's going to give it more of a contemporary feel.
You know, if I did that, I'm just thinking in my head what that would look like.
Mm-hmm.
If you have, let's just use like cherry for an example. If you have that and you want a minimalist look, then I would definitely, any accessories I would put on that, I'd make them big, and I'd make them contemporary.
Right. Well,
Yes.
We say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger, less is more, bigger is better. So put
Mm-hmm.
fewer bigger things out and not so many little things.
Let's tackle like the hutch or that set, or those mahogany secretaries with the pull down, you know, with the desk that pulls down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, secretary.
You know, this would be, keep those. They're beautiful. But here's what you do. You're going to outfit it in a contemporary style. Like if you have a hutch, put all white dishes. And you know what I would do with that? And the secretary, I'd make it into a bar.
Yeah, that's a clever
How
idea.
cool would that be?
Yeah.
And use very contemporary glasses and bar accessories. It's a really nice way. If you've got a beautiful, expensive piece of furniture, I would definitely do that.
So, Yvonne, you're saying flip it down and leave it open that way.
Yes,
to make it a bar.
and
really fun.
then of course I would put a lucite chair there and throw a Mongolian skin
You
over
go,
the
girl.
seat.
Do it. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach.
And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
Another thing you can do if you weren't, you might not want to do this if you want to keep the finish on your secretary, but you could always paint it, which kind of segues into our next episode. Do a lacquered finish on it, and then it's going to give it a whole new contemporary feel.
Well, I was left
a gigantic. It's got to be 9.5 feet tall. Sort of china cabinet roll top desk, but it's not like the roll top that has the ridges. It doesn't accordion in. It just is a smooth roll. And so I keep my stationery and things like that in there. But and then the top is glass with doors, and then the bottom has wooden doors. So and it was like a dark reddish cherry. And the man who lived here left it for me, and so I painted it, and I did it in a gloss white. It looks really sharp. And then all the dishes in there. I love it. Well, I did my crystal that have the gold rims, and then I had these little dessert bowls that have gold rims, and so it's all white and just clear crystal inside.
Well, and have you thought about maybe taking the bottom doors out, painting the inside, and putting baskets on the bottom?
I didn't do that. I left the doors because they're beautiful, because they have some wood carvings and whatnot on them. So they're just painted, and I did change the hardware, but I made but I used vintage, and it's one of my favorite pieces now. And it because I have so much white in my house, it doesn't jump out at you, but it definitely has a presence.
Nice.
Now, how many of you, if you're driving, keep your hands on the steering wheel, raise your hands.
We're in class again.
Yes. Raise your hand if you have a cherry or a mahogany or an oak poster bed.
Oh, I don't think I do. I don't have to raise my hand.
I'm hearing all these hands being raised everywhere. Excuse me. I have a bit of a cold. Girls, talk for a minute. I need a drink of water, and then I want to tell you something.
Okay, she needs to go to the bar, the secretary bar. Well, yeah, I always wanted a 4-poster bed, but I don't have that.
Well, here's what I saw this, and it stopped me in my tracks.
Oh, goodness, I can't wait to hear.
I know. If you have a poster bed, think about painting your walls white, using all white bedding on it. Total. Everything's white. And then putting a great contemporary side table.
Yeah.
And a white lamp and some modern art.
Oh, yeah.
So keeping it as it is. Keeping the wood as it is.
But no, I think that's great. Everything in white, because that's a very contemporary look.
Right.
And then you're adding just a side table. That would be stunning.
Oh, yeah. I would do a big splashy piece of art.
Modern art.
Lots of color.
And here's another thing.
Maybe you could do one of those murals that we were talking about, like one of the giant dahlia or something behind.
Yeah, something really interesting. And I happen to be a modern art lover. I love art, but I get a little tired of art has a definite theme to it. I really don't get tired of modern art. But here's another thing. Don't throw away don't give away, I wouldn't throw them away, your Oriental rugs. They are gorgeous when you add contemporary pieces. Like I saw a all-white modern kitchen with a brightly colored or beautiful traditional Oriental rug runner
Yeah, that's a beautiful look.
Oh, my gosh.
Because it kind of slides a little into the boho stuff too.
A little
works
bit,
for that as
but
well.
Beautiful.
It's really nice. A really great, like Yvonne is mentioning, doing some sort of a white lamp or something. In addition to the coffee table, I think lamps are a super easy way to add either one of these looks at a pretty minimal price point and very little pain just to change your lamps out, or even simply the lamp shades. So if you've got a very traditional room, definitely can find some fantastic contemporary lamps, or even the floor lamps, something like that, to really jazz it up. And in the reverse as well, if you're a contemporary room, maybe you want to put some sort of gilded Frenchy looking lamp. It's on either side of your contemporary sofa. I think that is
it's a
little bit of that tension
gorgeous.
that we talk about, and it really can be fantastic. But again, remember, you're going to really pick one look, predominant look, and then you can accent it with the other.
Right. Now we're talking about lamps. I have my study. It's all white walls, white IKEA, like desks it's big, it's long, white shelves, free floating shelves, my wood floors, and I have a floor mat that's white, a little bit of gray, and a little bit of like a mustard yellow. I found a lamp that was a pearlized honeycomb tall lamp at Kmart.
Wow.
Was it a
super K? Because we know all Ks are not created the same.
Oh my gosh. I think I paid $29 for it.
Whoa.
And then I
got
a mustard colored lampshade with a white design all over it for like $9.99.
Oh, we could have used that a few weeks ago, Kelly.
I love it.
Great.
Who knew? I went in for...
Don't turn that lamp around.
I even forget what I went into Kmart for, because I may go there once a year because we have one just up the road. And I thought, well, while I'm in here... Oh, I was looking for clothespins.
Of course.
While I was in here, I thought, well, I might as well just peruse down
might as
some
well
of
look
the
at the
decor
lamps.
out. Oh, my goodness gracious. That thing, I put that right in my cart. I mean, it's a great modern look, and you would never guess in a million years that it came from a Kmart.
It's very brave that you shared that with us. I love.
Well, hey, I am not
like
ashamed of that at all.
No, I love shopping please, I pick things up out of the trash.
She's not so picky.
Shopping at Kmart.
I would love to be sitting on your neighbor's porch as you're doing this and hear the comments of you as you walk up and down collecting things.
Yeah, the other day we were driving last night to the girls' concert. They had a choir concert, and we were driving there, and we're running a little late. Well, we got there just on time, but we thought we were going to be late. And there was this chair on the side of the road, and I was like, "Oh no!" You know when you're driving and someone goes,
"Yes."
And there was like a car coming from the other way or something. Like, what's around? And I was, we can't stop. I have no time. I'm dressed up.
I love that because we are repurposers.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you need to start with everything brand new. And I think it's more interesting. I have friends who've had designers come in and redo their homes, and they are so beautiful. But my one dear friend who had that done just said, but it doesn't feel warm like your house, Yvonne.
Oh, yeah. That's so sad.
Doesn't have soul,
it is gorgeous.
Right.
And I said to her, well, then put some things that you love in it yourself, like do things yourself. And I think people that mix styles, that it looks much more authentic.
Yes.
And it's much more welcoming.
And it looks like somebody really lives there.
And it's so interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Because it's one of a kind.
Right. So remember everything we told you today. And remember that we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Hey, everybody. We want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com.
or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.